It's a good day to be Shubman Gill, Ayaz. I mean, not only has he won his first test in India as test captain, but he's also been made the new ODI captain of the Indian team, replacing Rohit Sharma. Now, we were all looking forward to the squad announcement for the Australia series to see if Kohli and Sharma will be included, which they have. But perhaps the bigger news is Gill's elevation. Now, apparently, this is being done to give him enough time in the role before the ODI World Cup next year in Africa. So, what do you make of this elevation?
Well, I think it's absolutely the right decision. I mean, this was pretty much on the cards, Anirudh. I mean, there was the Rohit Sharma factor because he had been the captain in the Champions Trophy, led in the World Cup in 2023. And if he was to be in the squad, there was a school of thought which believed why not persist with him as captain and then take it from there. But I think the selectors have made the right decision, as you mentioned. It's about what a couple of years remaining for the ODI World Cup to start, and this gives Shubman Gill enough time to settle into the job, come to terms with the players, because the players for the test team may be different from those for the ODI team as well as for the T20 World Cup, where he may be just a player, not the captain. So it needs a little kind of settling in, which is a good thing that he gets that opportunity and the time and takes it from there. And where Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli are concerned, I think the clear signal is from the selectors, we would like you to be part of the World Cup squad, but it is entirely dependent on form and fitness. If that was not the condition, then Rohit Sharma could well have been the captain. But the fact that they are looking for a younger guy, they are not 100% sure. 2 years is a long time for 38-year, 37, 39-year-old bodies to kind of be able to sustain form and fitness. So I think overall, it's been a good call.
Yeah, and this also means that Gill is now in a leadership role in all three formats. Man, coming to the cricket today, India beat West Indies by an innings and 140 runs, and Ravindra Jadeja, the vice captain, was man of the match for his 104 wickets. I mean, kind of a predictable win, Ayaz. So maybe not a lot of takeaways for India from this performance, but it'll feel really good for them to finally have won at home after that horror show against New Zealand, right?
A couple of takeaways, but first thing about the West Indies, this opposition is really very mediocre. Let's be frank and upfront about it, because they barely mustered 115 either innings, and getting bowled out in about 80, 85, less than 90 overs in two innings suggests that this is a very fragile batting lineup. And then of course India made 448 for 5, where the West Indies bowlers toiled and toiled and toiled. Now we are all locked up in this great romanticism about West Indies cricket of yore, of the past, where the flavor they brought to the game, the uninhibited manner in which they played, the kind of great players, the great lineage that we've got, from Leary Constantine to George Hadley to the three Ws, Garfield Sobers, Rohan Kanai, Hall, Griffith. I mean, you can go down the, I can list you about 30, 40 names: Lloyd, Richards, Marshall, Holding, Garner, right up to Brian Lara and Chanderpaul, and then Chris Gale, and then it starts kind of slumping. And what we have seen in the last 15, 20 years, certainly, if not a little longer, is that in red ball cricket, West Indies have kind of plummeted to their lowest in a way. Yes, there's been the odd victory over Australia a year and a half, 2 years back, but nothing to suggest that they can perform well consistently in 5-day cricket. So that's been a big setback for international cricket, not just for West Indies cricket. They are still a force to reckon with in white ball cricket, though they didn't qualify for the World Cup, as we know, the ODI World Cup. But overall, I don't see them posing too much challenge to India, and I'll be very surprised if they do. Where India are concerned, it was a comprehensive all-round performance. So, 3 centurions, wickets from all the main bowlers. The performances that I found were, to pick from several. One was, of course, Mohammad Siraj picking up 7 wickets in the match, 4 in the first innings, which really gave the initial break, the thrust into the West Indies batting lineup. And what I find is that he's now hungry for wickets. He's playing on Indian soil. He's not had too much success on Indian pitches, and here he's got 7 wickets in the match. Look, pretty much the spearhead. Bumrah was the foil in the first innings. The Bumrah was masterly as always. And then the second player who obviously impressed everybody and got the man of the match was Ravindra Jadeja, a century, then 4 wickets in the second innings. He's, we all know that he's a class all-rounder, but since the Tour of England, he seems to be flexing his muscles even more. And on Indian pitches, certainly, I think he's without parallel as an all-rounder. And the third, perhaps the most significant in the context of the match and in the context of Indian cricket, was Dhruv Jurel, 125, uh, batted with aplomb and with a lot of gusto, a lot of control, and a lot of authority. And remember, his was in a sense the weakest place in the lineup, because if Rishabh Pant was available, he wouldn't be playing. So now he's thrown up a kind of a sweet dilemma for the Indian team. But of course, it's not going to affect in this series. And after that, all the attention will be on the T20 World Cup. So, but for now, Jurel has announced himself as a formidable wicketkeeper batsman.
Yeah, and lastly, India take on Pakistan in the Women's World Cup tomorrow. I mean, it's not as close as you would expect from the men's game. And India are a heavy favourites heading into the clash, but curiously, not a lot of noise about India playing Pakistan this time around. I mean, how do you explain it, Ayaz? Is it because there is a sudden maturity from all sides, or is it because the people who make these kind of noises don't necessarily watch the women's game?
No, I mean, thankfully, there's not so much of the noise, the acrimonious noise that we had heard during the Asia Cup. So, in that sense, it's a relief, because it just became, there's too much rancor to handle for me, certainly. Where women's cricket is concerned, actually, even this kind of build up has always been a little tepid and a little lukewarm, because the men's team always attracts that kind of fervor which we saw, which we have been seeing over years. Women's cricket, not so much. It may build up over the future. We don't know. And also, I think in terms of the contest, because the Indian women's team is so far ahead of the Pakistan team in every format, that I don't think you can only build up where you have a possible scenario where you know either result is possible. But when one is almost sure what the result will be, there's only so much you can hype up.
Yeah, so as I said earlier, India take on Pakistan in the Women's World Cup tomorrow, and we'll come back to you after that. So that's it for this episode of Sports Room. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Andrew. We'll catch up.